Let's make sure that we got some audio. All right. Well, that's not playing. That's not good. What's happening? What's happening? What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the CM Show. Audio's working, so everything is working good right there. That's kind of weird oh, I see the problem. Anyway, y'all, I hope y'all are having a good week. We are just at the end of the month, but you know what? Before we get into all that, I'm kind of excited a little bit, ready to get into this show, ready to get started. But let me, first of all, who am I? I am Christopher Markland. I am a father, author, and a lover of love. Now, when I say author, I've written 3 books right now, and I am working on the 4th. I have challenged myself with my writing partner to also write book number 4, but I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on. Lorenzo, what's good, sir? Thank you for joining the conversation tonight. Anyway, if you haven't already done so, please hit the like button and tickle the algorithm, and make sure, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. Now, tonight, let me make sure I got my stuff set up. Looks like everybody can hear me good out there. So tonight, the topic of conversation, what we're going to be talking about is decisions. All right, we're going to be talking about decisions, good decisions, bad decisions, just decisions nonetheless. However, before we get into all of that, let me make sure that I issue a little bit of a disclaimer, a little bit of a warning, because your boy does have a little bit of a potty mouth. And with that, that means that, hey, that means that this is an adult show. We will be talking about some adult stuff, and therefore we may be using a little bit of adult language. Okay. Also, I am not a dating coach. I'm not a dating guru, because the way my relationships are set up, I promise you listen to me for relationship advice, it's going to be like Stevie Wonder telling Ray Charles what to do. So I'm just saying that, hey, what I do want from this show, and that's the reason why I call them conversations, not necessarily topics, is because we're having conversations with each other. We're a bunch of friends getting together and saying, hey, in this particular situation, I've done this. In this particular situation, I've heard somebody do that. So instead of going left, I think you should go right. That's what we do on the show. I'm not here to tell y'all, well, do this in order to get the outcome that you want because you want to get with this person. Nope, this is not that kind of show. Instead, what it is just conversations where we talk about different things, different subjects, different topics, and different conversation topics, I should say. And of course, with that, like I said, tonight's conversation is going to be about decisions. Okay? Decisions. Like I said, if you have not already done so, let me make sure I do this. If you have not already done so, please subscribe, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and support your boy. Now, let's get into it. You know what? As an aside, you know what? I am a salesperson, but sometimes it's easier for me to ask for the sale for somebody else, but than it is for me to ask for myself. Anyway, that's just a little bit of an aside. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just, I can sell somebody else's product, but it's sometimes, anyway. To my salespeople out there, y'all let me know if you had that as well. If you sometimes have that hang up. I don't know what it is. But anyway, let us get into it tonight. Let's get into it. So we're going to be talking about decisions. All right. Now, with every decision, ultimately you're going to make a choice. Now, whether it's a good choice, whether it's a bad choice, it's going to be a choice nonetheless. Okay. So therefore, what you have to make sure that you do is, in the moment that you're making that choice, right? Even though this may be about as difficult as it can get, it is very, very difficult sometimes for you to be able to understand that or see the long-term ramifications of that decision. It's easier said than done. I get it. However, once you make the decision, you have to then live with the options or the results of that decision. So now let's talk about it. There are a couple different things that go into it. Okay. Now, when it comes to relationships, because as you know, everything that we do on this show, we're talking about, for the most part, relationships, even though I am going to be, we're going to dig into other aspects as well. Thank you for that, sir. I do appreciate that. Divine Empowerment Christensen. I love it. That's a hell of a name. Darius, thank you for joining the conversation. That dude there, boy, that's a dapper dude. Boy, I love it. Love it. Love it. That's my stylist. Got to have it. Anyway, so let's get back into it. Let's talk about the decision to begin. As with everything in life, okay? As with everything in life, there's a decision to start, and it has to be made. But this is more, especially when it comes to relationships, okay? There's certain things that before you move forward, you have to define the terms. Now, as I just referenced earlier that I'm a salesperson, one of the things that I have learned when it comes to selling a product, selling a service, selling whatever the case may be, is you first have to define the terms, meaning what is this particular item or this particular product, this particular service, how is it going to benefit you? You have to define the terms, and in the same regard, you have to be able to define it when it comes to relationships as well.
4 things you should say when trying to define the relationship. Number 1, I like you. It's okay to be vulnerable and tell them how you feel about them. And I'm sure they're going to say, I like you too. So that's good to hear.
It's nice when they tell you that they like you.
I've really enjoyed getting to know each other. This shows that you're open to taking the next stage in your relationship. It doesn't corner them and say, you need to give me an answer right now. Number 3, this is what I want. Outlining what you want shows and makes it easier for them to give you what you want, but not saying it and just expecting them to tell you X, Y, and Z is not going to help. Make sure you're clear about your wants and needs. Number 4, whatever ends up happening, it's been really fun and I've had a great time. This shows no pressure whatsoever.
That last one kind of resonated with me because I know that for me, in the majority of my past relationships, one of the things that happens for the most part when it comes to me is that my relationships are transitions or evolutions, as it were, from a friendship into a relationship. So one of the drawbacks is that if the relationship doesn't work out, I end up losing a friend, sometimes a friend that I've had for years, in the process, because things end pretty badly. The decision to end the relationship is also the de facto decision to end the relationship. So that last particular one definitely is something that has to be defined. That decision has to be made early on, that, hey, even though we're going to be embarking in this relationship and seeing where it takes us, you have to communicate early on that, hey, even if it don't work out, at least let's make sure that we can maintain the friendship in the long run. Crazy Homebody Girl, what up? Thanks for joining the conversation. Thank you, ma'am. So let me get back on track right there. Now, you also need to make sure that, that's weird. There we go. So if you think about it, for instance, right? If you're on a job, or if you're looking for a job, or if you are, changing jobs, whatever the case may be, you don't just get out there and say, you know what? I want a job. And you just walk out there blind. No. What do you do? First things first, you go out there and see what the job market is. You want to know what the job market, how much the jobs pay, where they're located, because you may have to move. There are plenty of decisions that you have to make. And then once you find out where the job is, you then have to make sure that your resume is tailored to whatever the job is that you're looking for. Now, for you to do that, for you to fix your resume, right, you have to know what it is that you have. And the same thing goes for your relationship resume as well. You have to know what it is that you have to offer. You have to know what it is that you are looking for. You have to know what it is that, you need. All right. And so, of course, people, we have seen this a million times, right? We've all seen this particular thing. We all know what it is. We know what it is. We know about the 5 love languages. It's been a part of relationship talk for the last Umpteen years. What up, Cheryl? Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, the five love languages. You have the love language of touch, the love language of services, the love languages of words, the love languages of time, and the language of gifts. Okay. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate that, ma'am. Thank you. You know, your boy's trying to look good. Thank you. You know, trying. Wait a minute. Your boy does look good. Wait a minute. Confidence, motherfucker. Anyway, now we hear about those five love languages all of the time. However, let me challenge y'all. How many of y'all out there really and truly know what those love languages mean? And keep in mind, again, I'm not talking about what it is that you do, okay? What it is that your particular love language may be, okay? I'm saying, well, to be clear, I'm not saying what your partner's love language may be, because a lot of times what happens is we're so wrapped about what it is the person that we're pursuing wants. Again, we don't even know what it is we want, because what we're talking about right now specifically is the decision to move forward with a relationship. And before you make that decision, you have got to know what it is that you need. So let's talk about those five love languages in a little bit more detail, right? Now, the love language of affirmation. If we're talking about a cup of coffee, that's when someone, you know, you're the person that, you know, you're thinking about pursuing, they're then going to tell you, you know what, yo, your coffee's delicious. They're making you feel good. Is that something that you need? Do you need for your partner or your potential partner to affirm you? Or do you need someone to provide you with acts of service? Is that what you're looking for? Not gonna lie, that is mine in particular. Okay. I need to know that my partner is there doing in the background, because as y'all, I do a lot of stuff. I am Jamaican. Okay. I am that dude. I'm all over the place. I got so many different things that I'm pursuing. Used to be a lot more, but as I've gotten older and, you know, slowed down a little bit, and my focus is there. But at the end of the day, there are a lot of things that I'm doing, be it writing a book, be it editing a book, be it working on a website, be it, you know, selling a house, whatever the case may be. Hell, when I used to drive trucks, whatever, I'm all over the place. So if I'm there, I need to know that my partner has my back and is doing things in the background. I don't need you calling me, telling me, "Oh, you're doing a good job doing whatever the hell it is I'm doing." Fuck, I know I'm doing a good job. I am who I am. If I do something that's good, I don't need affirmation or no. I need to know that if I'm out there doing it, you're actively holding it down. The act of service, meaning you are there for me because I'm goddamn sure going to be there for you. That's my love language. No ifs, ands, or buts. Now, another love language, and again, this is what you need to ask yourself. What is it that you need from somebody, okay? You need from the person that has your interest, okay? And we're going to break down why you need to know. It's not as selfish. Well, hell, it is selfish. You need to fucking know. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But anyway, let's go on to the next one. Receiving gifts, okay? Are you the kind of person that needs those tokens of affection where they may give you a trinket, whatever, you know what I'm saying? They give you something. Are you the person that needs gifts? In other words, if that person is giving you a gift, they're literally giving you the physical manifestation of their love. Is that something you need? Are you the kind of person where you need quality time, aka let's go get a coffee? In other words, it's one thing that we can, you know, fire the Keurig in the house, but are you the kind of person that needs? And even to be clear, even if you fire the Keurig in the house, you're sitting on the couch together, sipping the coffee, or you're outside on the back patio or some shit. You know, are you the kind of person that you need that time to connect with your partner? You need to know, is that what you need? Physical touch. Is your love language physical touch? In other words, let me hold you like a coffee. Oh, that's a weird ass way to word that, but I see what they're saying. Are you the kind of person that? And keep in mind, physical touch is not necessarily y'all doing the do. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily that. It's just a matter of y'all are something even as minor as holding hands. So you have to know what it is that you need. At the end of the day, I think that a lot of times when people make the decision to go into relationships, the reason why they don't necessarily work out is because people don't know exactly what it is that they need, and more importantly, what it is that they require. That's, and that's why I've always been stressing therapy. If you don't know who you are, what you need, then how in the hell can you expect someone to provide you with the things that you need? I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day, and we were talking about the fact that most men want peace. However, no woman on this planet can provide any man peace. It's not possible. Peace comes from within. So if me and every other man who's, let's keep in mind, we're just talking about a male-female relationship here, okay? Down with everything else, but I can only speak about what I know. There's no man on the planet no woman that can provide a man with peace. Only that man can define what peace is. However, when a man says that he is looking for peace from his woman, he's not saying, hey, I need for you to give me peace. What he's saying is, I need for you to provide me with a chaos-free atmosphere. In other words, when I come home, shit ain't all over the place, just all of the things that create chaos. So that's what it is. So if you don't know what it is you need, I need for my woman to, when I come home, provide me with a cup of coffee or some shit. You know what I'm saying? That's an act of service. I need that. I need for her to show her appreciation for me doing this. If you're a woman, you need for your man to come home, give you a big hug, give you a kiss, because you need that physical touch. Or you may be a dude that, you know what I'm saying, when you come home, it's like, yo, I just want to sit on the couch with you because I've had such a bad day. I need that quality time with you to unwind. If you don't know what it is, then how can you make the decision, or a good, healthy decision, to move forward if you don't, in fact, know exactly what it is that you need? All right. So you've worked everything out. You know what you need. You know what you're looking for. You know all of those things, right? You've made the decision to enter into the relationship, and, it's like, hey. So, see, boy, make sure I got my notes going on here. You've made the decision to go into the relationship. You're in the relationship. Everything is going well. Well, no, it's not. It's not going well. You ultimately realize that, you know what? This shit ain't working out. This shit is not working out, man. This relationship is not working out. So therefore, it has got to come to an end. You have looked at it, because sooner or later, no matter what it is, all things, good and bad, have to come to an end. All right. They have to come to an end. But before those things do, you have to ask yourself a couple questions. See, this is the part that gets my goddamn
Question to ask yourself before ending any relationship. Have I done everything in my power to make it work? If you have to look in the mirror and be disappointed at your own decision, you probably made the decision too quickly.
I had a friend of mine, as I was going through that. Yo, Mr. Charismatic, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Speaking of decisions, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for joining the conversation tonight. Yes, sir. It's a pretty dapper dude. You know what I love about my dudes, man? One, I appreciate every one of y'all joining the conversation, but also not only do I appreciate the support, but I know a couple of these dudes behind the scenes, and even though black men in particular sometimes are labeled a certain way, there are a lot of good dudes out there, and Mr. Charismatic is one of them. Shout out to you, sir. Thank you for joining the conversation. And you're right, I do. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate the compliment, my man. And that's something else too, black man. Compliment each other. We got to do that. Anyway, back to the show. I had a friend of mine when I was I'm going through my latest relationship situation. This friend of mine, she asked me several times, Christopher, are you sure that this is the move, the right thing that you want to do? She challenged me, pushed me to, and that's what you have to ask yourself. Or if you have a friend or a family member that can ask you those questions, is this the right move? Have you done everything you can? Because I can promise you there's nothing worse than regret of having made the wrong decision to end a relationship. Okay. In the journey of life, we all see markers, right? Remember I told you I used to drive. I used to be a truck driver back in the day. And one of the things that you learn, and especially when I was a driving instructor, is you keep your eyes not just where you are, but you're looking down the road as well. And the reason why is because you're looking for markers that or indicators that will help you make your decisions as you go down the road. It could be a mile marker. It could be, and keep in mind, these are external things outside of your vehicle that you're looking for. And within your relationship, we're going to tie the two together. Outside, as you're driving along, you're looking at mile markers, you're looking at exits, you're looking at the road ahead, you're looking down the road for traffic. You're doing all of those things. The same thing goes for in your relationship externally. You're looking at, the money. Because remember, those three things, sex, communication, finances, what outside of your relationship is affecting those things. That's one of the things you have to look for. Also on the road, you're looking for things internally. You're looking at your gas hand. You want to see or your fuel hand. You want to see how much fuel you have. You want to make sure your engine's not running hot. The same thing goes for your relationships, right? Now, if any of those things are pointing in the negative, then sooner or later, your journey is going to come to an end. All right. So with a relationship, y'all, those things that happen, they're indicators that happen that are showing you well before you make the decision to end it. The problem is we don't necessarily see those things for what they are. And also, if you do see them, you have to pay attention to those markers because they're going to end up biting you in the ass.
Making the decision to end a relationship is a big deal and should not be taken lightly. So analyze your situation to pinpoint where the problem or problems lie. Here are 4 telltale signs that your relationship is over. Number 1, you both stop operating as a team. Number 2, you're no longer afraid to lose them. Number 3, revenge outweighs forgiveness. Number 4, both partners fixate over the negatives rather than the positives.
Woo. Oh, shit. First of all, that woman did not have to be that goddamn loud, okay? Because she was fucking screaming. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Was she loud or was that just me? Anyway, I'm just saying she was, boy, she spoke every aspect of my life and I'm the one that put the damn video in. But when I listen to it again, it's like, ooh, shit hurt. Anyway, god damn. Now, let's talk about the next part, and this one is for you. Let me drop this in here, ma'am. I'm going to need for you to come on. I'm just saying. Speaking of which, she was loud, man. She was loud as hell. Woo. I just dropped the link. I'm gonna need for you to jump on so we can talk about the next aspect of. Oh, I'm over here crying, boy. I need some help. I need some backup. Now let's talk about another relationship decision, okay? You can either make the decision to start a relationship or you can choose, I hear you, Rick. It's funny, bro. She's talking to me. Or you can choose to not embark in a relationship at all. In other words, you make the life decision to go single. The single life. The single life is something that, okay, here we go. All right, can you hear me? All right, all right, I don't know why I can mute you. Okay, there we go. All right, good deal. I'm gonna bring you in real quick. Yeah, I don't have my camera on because it's a whole lot of stuff. All right. Ooh, that is terrible. Let me do this. So what we're going to talk about right now is something that not a lot of people. Oh, shit. Hold on. I know what we got to do. Give me 1 second. It's like I can hear myself. It's so weird. All right, there we go. So what we're gonna talk about, and I'm gonna bring my guest on real quick, is that we're gonna talk about, and this is not something that a lot of people are familiar with, but not everyone is ready for a relationship. Or to be clear, let me not say that. I apologize, ma'am. Not everybody wants a relationship. And with that, I'm going to bring in my guest for the evening is I am the single one. If I can get my life together. Hold on. There we go. Hello, ma'am. How are you? Welcome to the show. How are you doing today? Wait a minute. Why is this happening? Give me 1 second, y'all. All right. Give me 1 second. Landscape. There we go. Got it. That looks so much better. All right. Thank you. Now, what I want to do, and you got a couple fans in here already screaming your name. It's like, okay. All right. So, talk to me. As people can see by your name, you are the single one. What? No, trust me, you're doing the world a favor. You can't see me. So talk to me, because there's a little bit of a delay. Tell me, if you could, tell the audience, what does it mean? And yeah, you definitely got some fans in the audience already. Tell people, what does it mean, or your path to being single? What went into that decision? And hold on.
Fans in the audience already. Tell people what does it mean
now they can hear you.
Your path to being single. What went into that decision? And hold on. Fans in the audience already. Tell people what does it mean for your path to being single.
Are you there?
What went into that decision? And hold on. Fans in the audience already.
Y'all, hold on 1 second. We got some serious. Hold on.
I am. I hear you playing back.
Okay, give me an audio check. Ma'am, please. Just say something. Okay, there we go. All right, now they can hear you. Do me a favor, mute your audio, though. Mute your audio on your system, because it's like a serious.
Okay, give me your audio.
This is me?
Yeah, it's echoing on your end.
Now they can hear you. Do me a favor, mute your audio.
Ooh, that echo is bad. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me make sure it's not on my end. Give me 1 second. All right, let me hear you, ma'am. Say something. Okay. All right. Y'all, you gotta love live productions, man. There's always something. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do.
Something.
Just say right. All right.
You gotta love live productions, man. There's always something. Okay, so here's.
All right, so we're good. I think we're good right now. It's just one hell of an echo. I mean, of a delay. All right, let's try this again. Okay, so tell me.
All right, so we're good.
Your name is I Am the Single One.
It's just one hell of an echo. I mean, of a delay.
What?
Right,
Tell my audience about your journey to be the single one.
So we're good. Your name is I Am the Single One.
I am. Period.
This is
I hear it
terrible.
playback.
Oh. Y'all, hold on 1 second. Hold on.
I'm hearing the playback.
All right, y'all. I think we got it squared away. Can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me? God damn it. You've got to be kidding me. You know what? I really do think it's me, though.
I hear nothing. Very.
Whose fault was it? Whoa. Whose fault was it? Whose fault? I want to hear this. I need this. Whose fault was it?
It wasn't my fault.
Okay, y'all, I'm
It was
sorry.
my fault. I'm
Hold on,
sorry.
hold on. Let me make sure I can hear it. I'm doing a sound check. Whose fault was it? Oh,
It was my fault. I'm so sorry.
y'all, there is something that warms my soul, my spirit, to hear a woman say that. Could you say that one more time, please, ma'am? I need this. One more time, please.
This is the last time, Christopher Markland.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
was
Come on with.
my fault. I'm very sorry.
Yes. All right. Audience,
They're laughing at me in the chat.
yeah, they can hear you. Oh my goodness, y'all. Anyway, first of all, everybody, thank you for that. I appreciate that. That was a little bit of some technical stuff. Y'all, when you're doing a live show, it's a lot of stuff that happens. So again, I appreciate y'all. Now, let's get this thing started. Ma'am, your name is I Am the Single One. With that kind of name, can you tell the audience what went into your decision to act? And first of all, define. That was on my end. Let me stop StreamYard. Let me see that. Okay. Yep. I see the problem. I see the problem. See if that delay works. And boom, let's
Okay, I think
go.
we're on now.
Let's fucking go. Okay, y'all, the hell is going on? Here's the thing. I don't usually
That
like
part
to
wasn't my fault. That part
Oh,
was
ma'am, that's your fault. I'm gonna blame you,
not
madam.
that part.
Yes, ma'am. Because I ain't gonna blame myself.
I own the echo. All that other stuff, that was weird. I don't know what that was.
Audience. Well, ain't no, we ain't
But
got
I'm
an
glad
audience
you
in the world. They're
asked.
gone. Well, fuck it. We're gonna go. So they're like, what the hell? Let's talk. All right. So where were we before we were
Yes,
so
sir.
rudely interrupted? Who are you?
So you asked me about my decision to be single and what it means to be single for me.
Yes, ma'am.
So for me, what my single journey looks like is that I made the decision that I did not want to be married, and then decided that I also did not want to be in a relationship or to date. So my single life is completely single, I guess you could say.
So you
And
don't date at
what
all?
contributed to my decision were several things.
Okay.
I don't date at all.
Hmm.
What contributed to my decision were several things actually. When people learn about my lifestyle, they tend to want me to identify one or two reasons why what was the thing, what was it? But there are really like tons. Like if I were to list them out, there would be more than 20. I actually did list them out. And I actually stopped. I could have put more reasons, but they had to do with my own personality, my own nature, my dreams and goals. Also, men and what I know about men, what I've come to learn about men in
Oh, fellas, you better
relationships.
believe I'm gonna jump in. Fellas, I got you on this one. Oh, fellas, I got you on that. Go ahead. What
And
you ain't gonna
finally,
do?
and finally, yeah, another large part were literal facts, statistics, and then finally dating culture, and dating norms and just the overall dating environment. It's not a place for me. So I made the decision for, my well-being, to live my best life and to have the best, mental health and physical health, to go ahead and be single.
You
And
must be looking at
I'm
the
really,
comments.
really enjoying my life.
Mm,
Cheryl Brown.
terrible.
But yeah, so that many tons of things contributed to my decision. I can never list all of them just on a stream, which is why I created my channel.
Give me the. You said you made a list. What are the top 5? Like, let's go to top 3. Let's keep it nice and simple. What are the top 3 reasons? Let's see. She put out.
People always want to dwindle it down. It's
No, I just want the top 5 because you already besmirched men. So I want to know what else are there.
shout out to men. I want to say that I love men, and you can love men, and not, I think men are great. I
Yeah, we are great.
men, actually. But, loving men is not the same thing as wanting marriage.
So,
Yeah,
okay,
single AF.
let me ask you this though. Okay, you may not want marriage per se, right? But just because you're in a relationship with somebody, in companionship, in whatever the case may be, it doesn't necessarily have to end up in marriage as it's defined by our system nowadays. So, does that necessarily correlate? In other words, you can be with somebody but not necessarily be married to them, right? In the legal term, meaning the state is involved. For instance, one of the things I always talk about are poly relationships. That doesn't necessarily, that's not legal unless maybe Utah, but it's still a committed, consensual adult relationship nonetheless, right?
Yeah, you were breaking up a little bit, but you're
Sure.
right. Just because I don't want to be married doesn't mean that I can't date, have relationships, have companionships. To share a little bit about my journey is when I made the decision not to be married, I thought it would be a great idea for me to be open and honest with men who were interested in me about the fact that I didn't want to be married. And what I found was most men that I encountered, even the ones that said they didn't want marriage, found that to be unacceptable. Like they were, because women are so socialized to want to be the wife, have the ring, have the wedding. They almost viewed me as like a weirdo.
Yeah. I mean, what? No.
And also I think it makes them uncomfortable. And also, it makes them uncomfortable.
Why?
Men,
Uncomfortable? Why? Now
I
that's
think for a
interesting.
lot of men, yeah, because I think that you might not like this, but for many men, they understand that women are looking to get the ring, looking to have the wedding, the dress, all of the things, looking to be wifed up. And they use that to their distinct advantage in the dating space. So many men felt disempowered by my decision not to, that I didn't want to be married. So they, I think they were a little uncomfortable with that.
All right. I love this. This is interesting. You said disempowered. Was that specifically you heard that, or at least you got that feeling from the men that you were in dealing with, or that were interested in pursuing you?
Yes.
Interesting.
No, they didn't use the word, but I'm talking about their reaction, and what their discomfort that they expressed. I investigated that and I thought a lot about that. And I feel like that's where it comes from. And also men are socialized to understand women at two polars, right? So there's we talked about this in my stream about slut shaming. There's the slut, whore, thought, whatever, Tatiana on one hand, and then there's the virtuous wife, the psalm, whatever woman on the other hand. And so I think that many men, if a woman says that she doesn't want marriage, they're like, oh, what are you, like, some kind of hoe? And they don't understand that women are nuanced and complicated and not that black and white.
I will definitely say that women are complicated creatures. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. From a man's perspective, it is a little bit different because men are territorial. So therefore, it is very difficult for us to reconcile the fact that, okay, we have a woman that's obviously interested because you're engaging with me. You're returning my phone calls, returning my texts, things like that. But then at the same time, you're then saying that you don't want to engage in something deeper. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to propose or whatever, but to at least be within his sphere. Now, Cheryl in the chat, she just said she'd never take her husband's last name. My past relationship had a serious problem with that. it's one of those things because, like you said, it's a societal thing, but it also is at a base level for a man to know that, okay, I hear how it sounds, I get it, but she is mine. When something is yours, you are willing to die to protect it. As a man, how can you reconcile that? Okay, she doesn't want to be mine, or want it's a difficult thing, I guess, for most men.
Right, which is why I decided to stop dating, because it was just such a difficult. It was first hard, explaining it. And there are a lot of things about my life that are what you call not traditional, not, conventional. So having to explain another thing and, over and over again, and then, men having their reaction to it. So then I decided, I don't really need to be in this dating space anyway. It has pee in it. So
Oh, come on.
why even continue?
It's true, it does, though. God damn, it does. Anyway, okay, so I know all men that are listening to this, right? We tend to have certain thoughts, and our thoughts go straight to certain areas. When we hear that, we're like, God damn, are you serious? I was talking to one of my clients the other day. I sold her a house maybe a year ago, and she and we were talking, and she was telling me that she had not had physical intimacy with a man, I think she said, for like 14 years. Y'all, I can't even count that high. And then she then told me, yeah, I have a friend of mine. She has not been with a man for 20 years.
It's harder for men to imagine that.
Oh, you best believe.
Because you're physically built differently. Yeah, you're physically built differently. Our bodies are not the same. Our bodies aren't. A man's body is aroused naturally several times throughout the day, whether
at least
there's a sexual visual stimuli or not. I'm sorry?
I said at least.
What'd you say?
At least once or twice, 5 times a day.
At least, right?
At a minimum. We wake up like,
right.
Hey. But go ahead.
Right. Exactly. Our bodies aren't the same at all. Okay. It's very different for us. So, women find abstaining way easier just from a biological, physiological perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can say that abstaining for me is a dream because to me, it was a very, the trade-off was worth it because my lifestyle basically ensures my sexual health 100%.
Yeah.
And even, right. And I love that. That to me is worth it. So yeah, but I know that men, again, this is something that men find it very hard to understand and reconcile because they'll never feel that way.
Yeah, literally never feel. You're right. And it's one of those things where it's, again, men, an aspect of the traditional man is not only being territorial, but also the conquest, right? Now, some men are all about the sexual conquest, meaning they just need to knock down as many women as possible, whereas others need the sexual engagement for a certain sense of validation. But at the end of the day, there has to be some kind of intertwining. So it is very difficult, especially in this day and age where everybody's screaming about WAP and all this other stuff, where we live in a highly sexualized society. And just to hear someone like yourself, who is the antithesis of that, that is obviously something that is very difficult, I'm sure, for a lot of men to relate.
And also for me, I am someone who can't experience and enjoy intimacy outside of love, outside of a safe, loving relationship. So that was the natural thing based on my decision not to date as well.
Let me ask you this. Is your stance firm, Or as they say in the real estate world, if the right offer comes along, would you be willing to consider that offer?
An offer to be in a relationship?
Yeah.
No.
Man, you were shaking your head about 20 seconds before
I'm
you
not
said
likely
no,
to
too.
consider that.
So, okay. Hey, you were like,
I'm not likely to consider that.
really? So even if Mr. Right comes, yeah, you did. You're like, no. So if Mr. Right comes galloping up on his
There is
white
no Mr.
horse, there is always a Mr.
Right.
Right.
There's no galloping. Listen, there's the dating scene. Okay? There's nothing about that I would so like the Mr. Right. And I've had like ladies talks and stuff on my channel with, my girl,
Oh,
my
tell
girlies
everyone about
that
your
come over,
channel
and
too.
I love that.
Tell everyone about your channel when we get finished too, but please go ahead.
Oh, sure. And one of my girly subbies who's like so sweet, I just love her. She said, well, what if the perfect guy, this great, amazing guy, that is a construct. That is something that women have been taught. There are only human men out here. They have flaws. They have amazing, great, attributes as well. But there are only human people out here. There are no quote unquote Prince Charmings. There are men, and some are very suitable, some are not, but they all have, and whomever is chosen, that relationship will take work and effort.
Yeah, well,
And so saying yes to a relationship is buying into doing that work and effort and accepting that person with their flaws as well. But my channel is I am period, the single one period. I'm also on Insta and Twitter. And I talk about reality, dating, love, relationships. I feel like my perspective as someone who is completely outside of the perspective on both the feminine and the masculine side. And, in talking about all, but it's helped me to learn and see different things. My favorite Sonia. Learn and see different things that I never knew because I was participating myself. I was participating in dating, so I couldn't. I was still holding on to fairy tale and belief, and I wasn't seeing things how they really are.
So basically, you can't be a little bit pregnant when it comes to dating. So basically, you can't be a little bit pregnant when it comes to dating. Huh? You said you're what? Oh, that delay is killing me.
You said I can't be a little bit pregnant?
You can't be a little bit pregnant when it comes to dating. Either you're in it or you're not. So I definitely get it.
Absolutely.
Sonia G, first of all, thank you, ma'am. We had a great conversation on her channel. That's another fellow YouTuber as well. Great conversations on her channel. If you get it, make sure you follow her as well. I am the single one is who we have here. I like what you're saying, and obviously what you're saying does resonate with a lot of the women here. I think Crazy Homebody Girl's like, yeah, I don't know about the abstinence thing, but she can understand the not dating aspect.
Yeah, she has a boyfriend. She has a BF.
See, she understands. She understands. However, in this you referenced earlier the dating pool that has, urine in it, someone, the mustard colored dating pool. And I think that it's that way for a lot of reasons. And it's not just one person, putting their mess into it. It's everybody, because our society is influenced by a lot of different things. Externally and internally, we aren't doing the work to cleanse ourselves of the BS in order to be ready for a relationship. That's one of the reasons, the genesis of the idea for this show was looking at the decisions that people make before getting into a relationship, before getting married, before, God forbid, having children with someone that you really probably shouldn't even have a damn cup of coffee with, but here it is, you're bringing life into this world, that kind of thing. People don't know who they are, but yet and still, like you said, broken people are engaging in relationships that ultimately end up not only hurting them, but the other person as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we have to make the right decisions for ourselves. By the way, I love this topic on decision making. And we have to, in order to do that, you have to know yourself. You have to understand and do the work on yourself first, because there's a lot out there, and you have to be very grounded prior to encountering lots of this stuff.
So Cheryl just asked the question, are you an empath?
To some degree, I believe so, yes.
Ma'am, you are a very, very, very fascinating character. Y'all know that I do reviews on Ready to Love, and in doing so, I come across several different YouTubers that reach out and be like, "Hey, I like your stuff, etc., etc." But the way I do them is a little bit different, and I add a little bit of super, huh? It's just a little
I
delay.
said so masculine, so male.
All day. Hell yeah. I'm an Aries. What can you say? But anyway, so it's like, but as I watched her stuff and just also watched how you went about doing it as well. I don't know what the hell just happened. I realized, what? I like how she moves. I like how you do it. So we've reached out, done a couple collaborations. Also, as you can see in the chat, Sonia G as well. Y'all, if you haven't already done so, please make sure you follow them. I know I Am the Single. She does some really good stuff as well. Other conversations, other topics. What was the one that you had? I think we were talking about the beautiful Nia Long. Oh my God. What was that topic about?
We were talking about pretty privilege being a scam.
Pretty privilege being a scam. First of all, Nia Long is not just pretty. She's beautiful.
Total
However,
scam.
It is not. Oh my God. Y'all go to her channel, check her past videos, and you'll see that conversation as well as a couple others. Sonia G as well. Let's see, what is Sonia G? People need to know who they are, be willing to evolve, be willing to, oh, I just turned it off like a knucklehead. Be willing to evolve, be willing to be a student of their partner, to know who they want to be in a relationship. That right there is what we discussed a little bit earlier as well. When one of the things that I said was, you need to know who you are. You need to know what your love language is, because if you don't know how to speak English, if you travel somewhere else to another country and you can't even speak your own native tongue, how the hell is it that someone there is going to be able to communicate with you? You have to know what it is you want, what it is you need, who you are, before you even think about going in a relationship. Or you could be like Miss I Am the Single one here, who's like, yeah, I don't even want to be in a relationship in the first place. So ma'am, I appreciate you. Thank you, ma'am. This has been fun. You got the audience all riled up, boy. They love it. They love it. They love it. Uh-oh. Um, this is absolutely atrocious. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, looks like it's working again. Not sure what the hell just happened. Anyway, we're back. Woo, that was fun. That was interesting. Thank you for that is so freaking weird. Man, we got some hating ass technology tonight. This is absolutely crazy. Some hating ass technology. Anyway, man. God damn it, piece of shit. Anyway, let's keep it pushing. So what we've been talking about is decisions. You see the topic of the show. That's what we have been talking about, which is decision that we use to get into relationships. What are the decisions that we make? So we spoke about the decisions that you have to make before getting into a relationship. We've spoken about the decisions that you make getting out of a relationship, and I am the single one. She actually came along and spoken about the decisions that she made to not even get into a relationship in the first place. That in and of itself is absolutely amazing to me. However, it's here we go. It's a part of life. Just based on the comments that we had there, it was a lot of people that her life decisions resonated with. A lot of women, it's like, I've heard it being said several times, the urine colored, the mustard colored dating pool, because it's You've got to be kidding me. This thing is acting absolutely stupid. Pure D controversy. Anyway, so he made the decision on his own, for him, his family, his coaching staff, and he's been catching hell regarding that. Y'all, at the end of the day, you got to do what you have to do for your family in order for your happiness, for their happiness as well.
It's not about a bag, but it is about an opportunity. So I always felt like if you dominate your opportunity and you treat people right, the bag is gonna always come. I never chased a bag. A bag has always chased me because I've always tried to make the right decisions and do the right thing regarding people, regarding decisions, regarding life. It hadn't been too many times where I was meant to stay right and I took a left. Maybe a couple marriages, I take that back. All right. I'm sorry.
Again with the marriages, boy, I tell you what, boy, you make the wrong. Anyway, let me pump the brakes on that one. What he said right there was there aren't that many times in life that you're meant to go to be a problem. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, let me say all of that again because my streaming software is acting a straight up donkey, aka acting an ass. So let me try that again. Having trouble connecting, it's doing it again. If you want to join the conversation, the link is in the chat. Make sure that your audio is connected. If you want your video to be seen, like I am the single one, hers was shown earlier, that's fine. If you don't want it to be shown, if you want it to be private, just let me know. But please, please, please just make sure that your audio is connected. And probably what I'm going to do, because my stream is acting like straight feces, we may end up calling it a night. Y'all, hold on. Let me try and fix some stuff behind the scenes here to make this thing work. Show goes on. Nobody wanna know it. All right, there we go. All right, I think we got it. I think we got it. All right, mic check. Y'all let me know if you can hear me in the chat, please, and thank you. Because this is basura. Okay, I think I can hear myself too. Excuse me. All right. Ooh, that was gross. Fucking hate wintertime. All right, what we're going to do is I'm going to wrap this particular show up because we are having all right. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate you for that. I appreciate that. All right, now that y'all can hear me, this is absolutely insane that, my God, I don't know what the hell's going on. All right. Again, I dropped the link in the chat if you want to join me, and we're going to talk about what decisions have you made to get into a relationship? What was your decision-making process? What were the things that you realized about the person that you're like, you know what? That's who I want to be with. That's who I want to pursue something with. Obviously, you don't know where it's going to go, but there's something about her. What was it that ultimately led up to you saying, hey, ma'am, I want to be with you. Hey, sir, I want to be with you. What was it that helped your decision-making process? And then on the flip side,
not be taken lightly. So analyze your situation to pinpoint where the problem or problems lie. Here are 4 telltale signs that your relationship is over. Number 1, you both stop operating as a team. Number 2, you're no longer afraid to lose them. Number 3, revenge outweighs forgiveness. Number 4, both partners fixate over the negatives rather than the positives.
Yo, I don't know. Every time I hear this, that revenge one, boy, I tell you what, that shit hits home. Oh my God, that revenge one is so damn serious. Anyway, all right, I'll speak. Give y'all, you know how we do. Since this is a conversation, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me without being too personal or anything. Names and addresses and people have been changed to protect the innocent. So, most of my relationships came from the development of a friendship. So it never was a situation where I met somebody and pursued them, and then, within a span of time, we ultimately ended up in a girlfriend, boyfriend, and then marriage type situation. Most of my serious relationships were people that I already knew. Well, first wife, no, it was that kind of situation. Anyway, the friendship escalated, it progressed, and then it ultimately, resulted in marriage in those couple cases. So as I look back, it wasn't like yes, there was a period in time where I made a decision, because at the end of the day, I proposed. I was the one that made the decision to go buy the ring. I was the one that made the decision to drop down on one knee. I was the one that made the decision to say, hey, this is what it is. And ultimately, I was the one that made the decision have the more informed a decision you can make. However, if you are operating strictly out of emotion, strictly off passion, strictly off of hatred, strictly off of resentment, any type of negative emotion is 9 times out of 10, it's going to cause you to end the relationship. And on the flip side, if you're operating only out of your tingly parts are feeling good, or, they make you happy, or when you see the text, it makes you smile and all of that. If you're operating out of that, then you're also going to get into a relationship when in reality, there is no real foundation. If you don't go to therapy, if you don't have certain conversations where you can understand that, hey, there's more to it. There's more to a relationship, a healthy situation, a long-term relationship where there's a true foundation, not just of friendship, not just of sexual chemistry, but more than that. Because once you've made your decision, you're able to do it in a healthy way. Hold on one second. I'm going to show y'all something. Hold on. Should have had it ready. My bad. My fault. I'm back. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Woo-hoo. I'm here. My bad. So, what I have here is something that from one of my therapy sessions, but it was also a conversation with a friend of mine, where this is something that I'd never done before. Like I said, most of my relationships were a culmination of or an escalation of a friendship. It wasn't a situation, again, where I saw someone, I was like, hey, you know what, I got to have you. It wasn't a situation like that. As I'm moving forward in life, and this is where I made the reference earlier when it comes to your resume, when it comes to, if you're looking for a job, you go on a particular job site, you're going to see, okay, what are they offering? And does it align with what it is that I want? Or does it align with what it is I have to offer, my skill set? I'd never done that before. This is absolutely ridiculous. All right. Well, I swear to God, StreamYard, you are pure D feces. Anyway, so one of the things that I did was I looked at who I was and what it was I was looking for, and actually wrote it down. So that way, if and when I get into another situation again, the decision-making process is not going to be one that is strictly emotional based. And the emotions are going to be based on a rational foundation. In other words, there's certain things, basically, and I'm not going to read what these things are, but I have it listed in 3 categories. She needs to be. These are the things that I want. And these are the things that she cannot be. So in other words, what I was able to actually quantify certain things in order to make an educated decision moving forward. I'm also in the process of doing a career change. And in order to do that, the same rules apply. Where is it that I'm trying to check that? Where is it that I'm going? And how am I going to get there? And in pursuing that end, there were things that I put in process in order to reach and attain the end goal as I envisioned it. Y'all, the decisions that we make, where we are right now, are based on decisions that we made last week, last month, last year, hell, 10 years ago. Even our friggin' childhood has all of those things have caused us to be at the place where we are now. This is so fucking annoying. I'm going to shut it down because this is just making no goddamn sense. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. Not sure if y'all can hear me, but this is friggin'... Oh, okay. Well, I can see myself on... Jesus Christ. Yep, I think I am going to have to finish this show another day. Y'all, not sure why we're having all these issues that we're having, but it happens, and now it looks like I'm back. This is annoying as fuck. Anyway, y'all, let me go ahead and wrap this show up before I pull my hair up. Oh, too late. Anyway, y'all, this has been a fun show. We've been having a little bit of technical difficulties. I appreciate those of you that have stuck in there. Next week, let me do this. Next week, first of all, I'm in the process of doing some moving, so I am going to do everything I possibly can in my power in order to do the show next week. One of the reasons why I'm even doing this show or doing these series of shows is we're almost at the end of the year. And what happens come January 1st is that everybody's going to start, those New Year's resolutions, new year, new me. You're going to see that same damn meme of that woman that's stepping over all of her baggage and all of this other shit, stepping out of 2022 into 2020. That same tired ass one where she's doing all these things. All right. So I decided to tackle